Today, Brigadier General Tony McMillan, who is the commander of the 145th Airlift Wing, will brief you as to the casualties resulting from Sunday's crash. He is not going to be able to stay to take any questions, though. However, we'll be here to help field whatever information you may need. We also have a number of our other people here who help us as we go through this process. Our wing chaplain, one of our wing chaplains, Chaplain Major Debbie Kidd, is here. And also our State Director of Psychological Health, Ms. Stephanie Nissen, is here. And they can answer any questions that have to do with the sorts of services that we're providing for our grieving members of our military community. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Brigadier General Tony McMillan.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The men and women of the 145th Airlift Wing suffered a great loss on Sunday. When MAF 7 crashed while on its firefighting mission near Edgemont, South Dakota, we lost 4 dear friends and colleagues, and 2 others suffered critical injuries. This afternoon, I'm sorry to have to confirm what many of you may know already. Killed were Lieutenant Colonel Paul Michael, 42 years old, from Mooresville. He was a member of the 156th Airlift Squadron. He was a C-130 evaluator pilot with more than 20 years of dedicated service. He came to the 145th Airlift Wing in 2001. He leaves behind a wife and 2 children. Major Joseph McCormick, age 36, of Belmont. Also an accomplished instructor pilot, he joined the wing in 2005 and was chief of training with the 156th Airlift Squadron. He is survived by his wife and 4 children. Major Ryan David, age 35, of Boone. He was an experienced navigator with the 156th Airlift Squadron. He joined the North Carolina Air National Guard in 2011 after leaving the active duty Air Force. He is survived by his wife and 1 child. Senior Master Sergeant Robert Robbie Cannon, age 50, of Charlotte, was an evaluator flight engineer assigned to the 145th Operations Flight. He had served 29 years in our unit. He leaves behind a wife and 2 children. Funeral arrangements for these airmen are not complete. 2 airmen were seriously injured. They remain hospitalized. It is normally not policy to release the names of injured airmen in accordance with privacy rules. There are no words to adequately say how this has affected all of us who knew these airmen and their families. We pray for the loved ones of those who gave their lives, for the quick recovery of those who were hurt, and for strength to carry on the missions they dedicated themselves to performing both here at home and around the world. They were experienced aviators and dedicated public servants who lived the Air Force core values of integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all they did. The Air Guard is a family, and right now we're family focused. We're doing all we can to help the loved ones of those fallen airmen get through this difficult time. At the same time, we're doing what our fellow airmen would want us to do. We continue to grieve, but we're ready for missions that may come in the future. We have 4 new wingmen watching over us. Thank you.
At this point, we'd like to allow you to ask some questions, if you have any, also to talk to our experts here about the kinds of things that they're seeing as people go through the grieving process.
Sure, I just like that. Could you talk a little bit about, I'm sure you knew these gentlemen, can you maybe talk a little bit about their personalities, what they were like? I hear they were good dads, family men, excited about the mission.
I'm going to let Chaplain Kidd answer that because she probably knew them a lot better than I did.
Well, good afternoon. And as General McMillan said, we are a family, and and that is our focus in the Chaplain Corps as well. Our motto is a visible reminder of the holy, and that's what we're here to do. We are here to remind them of a presence of a God, the one that they serve, they choose. We also are here to remind them of a presence of hope, of sustaining them in these days and the days to come. What we are experiencing is being able to see families talk about their loved ones, tell their favorite stories, give them a chance to tell us who they were, and we get to listen to that, provide someone they can talk to, lean on, hear their cries and their tears, and pray with them. Also, in the future, there is going to be a memorial service for our wing and the families of this tragedy, and that will be at some later date to be scheduled. But that's another way that we hope we can provide the hope and the healing process at this point with our families, both for the wing and for these precious families who have lost their loved ones.
To you personally, what stood out about this?
Talk a little bit about your personal experiences with them.
Well, we're a big wing, so personally, knowing some of them, I know them from their faces, don't know them from their names, and what stands out is exactly what General McMillan said is our core values for our Air Force, about their integrity, their service, and excellence in what they tried to do, the years of the dedication to this, commitment to both family and Guard family is what stands out to me. Because when I visit these homes and other chaplains, that's what we are hearing is they loved the Guard, but they loved their family. And they were committed to both and paid also the ultimate sacrifice with that.
How large is this wing? The number of people you mentioned is a large.
We've got, it's a moving target usually, but it's about on any given day about 1,500.
1,500?
Right, 1,500.
Full-time Guard, or do they also have jobs outside of?
These particular individuals were full-timers here at the base.
What can you tell us about the two airmen that are recovering right now, their condition?
Well, we are hearing good things. And of course, we're hopeful, we're guarded. Right now, they're certainly still in serious condition, and we're just waiting to see what the medical professionals tell us as they go through their recovery.
How long until you expect to have some answers about what went wrong in South Dakota there?
Typically, an investigation of an aircraft accident takes weeks and months. I couldn't give you an accurate timetable for when that report will be finished. I can tell you that it's already underway, and it will take as long as it takes.
We're hearing reports about the mission before this one. They experienced a significant downdrift. Can you speak to that at all?
I can't. That would come out in the course of the investigation. If we were to talk about what may or may not have happened, it would just be speculation and guesswork.
Can you confirm if the crew before this one did experience that, or did?
Got no idea. Yeah, no idea about that.
So I know you guys had 36. Are the rest of the crews back in the air today?
The MAF's operation has resumed. I'm not comfortable taking questions about the operations because I'm not planning the operations.
Are the folks from here, are they flying again?
I'm not exactly sure where they are at the moment, to be honest with you. I'll have to get that for you and get back to you.
Do you know how they are doing? Because these are like family members?
Well, I mean, they were closer to it in terms of geography than the rest of us were, obviously. It's a small community that does the MAF's mission, a community within the Air Guard community. And so these people all knew each other very well. And they're going through a tough time, which is why we have people like Stephanie and the chaplain here to address whatever needs they may have.
Who was in command of the plane when it went down?
The aircraft commander I'm going to have to check on. I apologize. I'll have to find out who that is.
Do we know the pilot? Or was it?
Well, both the first two individuals named are both pilots
Right,
with
so
lots of
they were
hours,
both
but I don't know
active.
which one of them was the aircraft commander. I'll have to check.
Okay.
Lieutenant Colonel Michael and Joseph McCormick?
Yes.
He was Lieutenant Colonel as well?
No, McCormick's a major.
Major.
Did Major McCormick fly with South Carolina National Guard before he came here?
I don't know. I'll have to find out.
Anything on a personal level you want to add about working with these guys? I know some of them, they said they've been here almost 30 years.
Now, people tend to homestead in the Guard. They come out of active duty with skills. Some of them come to the Guard and gain skills while they're in the Guard. but our people come here out of a sense of patriotism and out of a sense of wanting to be public servants. They enjoy the excitement of doing this kind of work. I think these people, they were raring to go on Saturday when they came to the base and when they left. You can't say enough about people who are willing to go in harm's way when we need it as Americans.
Talk a little bit about the wreath over there.
This is it's a memorial, and their names will be added to this memorial. It's something that is a fairly recent addition to the base, but it commemorates the service of people who have gone before and who set the conditions for success.
When will those names be added? Is it an annual ceremony that you do?
There is an annual ceremony in October. October is when we'll have that. And certainly you're all invited to come and see that when it happens.
The funeral arrangements are still pending, but do you know when they'll be returned back here?
We don't. We really don't. We'd just be speculating.
After something like this, is there, for the personnel that are out there and maybe those that knew them here, is there any counseling or any kind of...
Absolutely. Let me let Stephanie Nissen talk to you about the kinds of things that her shop brings to the table.
Good afternoon. I think it's important to remember that the National Guard is a very tight family from the national levels down, A&G and NGB. We have leveraged support of the Red Cross. They have sent counselors to us. We have also, North Carolina National Guard is unique in that it has an integrated behavioral health system. We have crisis counselors located throughout the state. We have a wing director of psychological health actually here on base, and another state director of psychological health in Raleigh. We are very hands-on. We care about these guys. We care about their families, and we're going to make sure that we do whatever we can to help them through this horrible and tragic event. PHANIE.
Can you talk about if everyone else in this squadron and the other part of this mission, if they are given a break because of what they may be going through emotionally or physically, mentally, if they are, forced to fly the maps today, or if they are given time?
No, we have our hands on them basically from the minute they redeploy, and it's an individual assessment on each person generally, and we are there to give them whatever we think and whatever they think they may need. Nobody is forcing anybody to run any missions.
And are you helping families eat even today, or have most of them gone to South Dakota now and will be there?
I can't speak to that individually. We have a very prolific families programs in North Carolina National Guard, and they've been involved with the casualty assistance officers really from minute one.
Do you know if anything's been changed operationally with the missions that are going back out there as a result of the accident?
I'm not going to be able to speak to the operations because I'm not planning them. I will tell you that our aircraft, I believe, is scheduled to come back home. But as I said earlier, I don't know where they are at the moment.
They're not flying.
Well, the MAF's operation is ongoing. Our aircraft are supposed to come back to Charlotte.
And how many aircraft is that?
We had deployed 3 aircraft, one of which, of course, crashed on Sunday. Another carrying another MAF's module, and then a third that carried people and equipment.
And when were they returning?
I believe they were going to come back today, if not today, tomorrow, but I'm not terribly sure about that.
When were they originally going to? Was it a 2-week mission?
It was a mission that was going to last as long as it needed to last. Typically, if it's a long-term mission, there's a rotation of people in airplanes.
So this is a change, obviously, because of the crash to bring them home.
Yep.
And when they return, they'll come right back here to Charlotte?
They'll come back home, right here to the wing.
Any details of what time they'll be arriving?
I don't know. I don't plan the mission, so I don't know what their timetable is. Any other questions? Wanted to tell you one other thing. If I have the phone number with me, there is. We've had a real outpouring from the community, which is not unusual for our community, and wanted to give you a telephone number here. If there are people who are interested in donating time or things, they can call our family programs office, and that number is 980-721-4019. 980-721-4019. And we'll be happy to work with anybody who wants to do that.
What is the what you're hearing from the community? You said there's been an outpouring. What are people telling you?
Lots of condolence messages. I get a lot of emails anyway as a public affairs officer, but I have to keep working at answering all of them. I know I'm getting a bunch of them. I know the senior staff here. A lot of talk on the social media sites. Our other fellow public affairs officers. Lots of phone calls. People wanting to help. From all over the country, but in particular here in North Carolina. Any other questions? One admin note: if you'd like to stay here and do live shots for your early shows, for those of you TV folks, you're certainly welcome to do it. And we'll just have somebody here to assist you if you need some help. Okay. Thank you all.